Dolphins fans, welcome in to this edition of the Dolphins Today Mailbag. I am Will Scott answering your questions live here during our live Thursday Dolphins show. So if you did not get on this mailbag and want to get on a future mailbag, be sure to subscribe to the channel and join us every Thursday at 4 o'clock Eastern Time. Our first question is coming in from Dylan Raddick. Thanks for the question, man. Who's your favorite prospect at the NFL Combine? That's a great question. I'm watching the Combine right now, NFL Combine going on. My favorite prospect, and again, the Dolphins have a first-round pick, so I'm kind of following these second-round guys a little bit more closely. Probably Cody Mauch from North Dakota State University, the offensive lineman. How can he not be your favorite prospect? I mean, look at the guy. So probably Cody Mauch. He's the guy we've talked about as a potential Dolphins target. You could slot him at right tackle, maybe even at left guard as well. And the Dolphins need a left guard and they need a right tackle. They can maybe address that free agency. If they don't address it in free agency, I expect them to address it in the draft. But Cody Mauch from North Dakota State had a great career there. His story is really cool. I encourage you to look it up. But Cody Mauch is probably my favorite draft prospect. Had a great outing at the Senior Bowl. Really easy guy to root for. Do you want to draft Cody Mauch? And I see Sherry May down in the comments, our live chat, saying Mauch to Miami. Do you want to draft Cody Mauch? Type D for draft or type P for pass down in the comments section. It is the pinned comment, so reply to it when you get a second. Do you want to draft Cody Mauch? D for draft, P for pass. Skitmaster, why would have Miami try to get Wagner? Are you asking about Wagner to Miami? Because I definitely think that's possible. We'll see what his price is. He was making $10 million per year before he got cut, and I think if you could get him for a price near that, it would be pretty good value. He's a ridiculously good player, has been playing at a high level his entire career, and the Dolphins have a needed linebacker. I think there's a better chance they sign Bobby Wagner than trade for Jalen Ramsey. Hi. Saying draft John Michael Schmitz in the second round. Trade up if we have to, and sign Mike Mcglinchy in free agency. Move Connor Williams back to center, and we are good for the O-line. I think high means move him back to guard. Look, Williams did a decent job this year at center. I wasn't thrilled with his snapping. I thought his PFF grade did not do a good job kind of factoring in the snapping, but he's a great blocker, which is not a surprise. He was one of the top 10 guards in the NFL before he got here. In terms of drafting John Michael Schmitz in the second round and trading up, the Dolphins do have two third-round picks, so they can maybe send those third-round picks to a team to move up in the second round. John Ruiz says, trade and sign for Dalton Schultz, GM Ruiz as we like to call him, Jordan Poyer, Josh Jacobs, Mike McGlinchey, Jalen Ramsey, Gardner Minshew, Dalvin Cook, Derrick Henry, extend Christian Wilkins, and Melvin Ingram, Zach Sealer. So I don't look Dalton Schultz. I like him. I don't think he's going to be a priority. I think if they sign a tight end in free agency, it's going to be Foster Moreau from Las Vegas. Jordan Poyer's a Dolphin. Lock it in. Josh Jacobs, the Raiders really want him back, but if he does leave, I think Miami's the favorite to land him. I certainly think Miami's the favorite for McGlinchey. Jalen Ramsey, Miami's right there, but I expect him to get traded to Detroit, maybe even Cincinnati. Gardner Minshew needs to be the top backup quarterback target. Dalvin Cook, I like. I think you need to do a little bit better than that. And when I say that, I'm saying Josh Jacobs or Tony Pollard. If you don't get either of those guys, then maybe Dalvin Cook. And if Derrick Henry becomes available, my goodness, you have got to try to go for him. Christian Wilkins will get extended. I think Zach Sealer will as well, but I don't think Melvin Ingram will be back. Fear the Kilt, what's up? Watch from Pawleys Island, South Carolina. We appreciate you. If you had to pick a free agent priority, what position is top priority for you? Mine is right tackle. I could not agree more. The Dolphins have got to prioritize this offensive line. Chris Grier, I like Grier. I know that he's somewhat of a polarizing figure amongst Dolphins fans. But one thing he's missed on has been the offensive line, at least drafting offensive linemen. Yeah, he got Teron Armstead. But Eichenberg's been a disaster. Austin Jackson, was starting to show a little bit of promise last year, but got banged up, didn't play a whole lot. Connor Williams did a decent job at center. I think he's more of a true guard. but they'll probably keep Connor Williams at center. But you need a left guard, you need a right tackle, so I'm with you if you're the Celt. I think Mike Mcglinchy, you have got to give him a blank check. Do whatever it takes to bring him to Miami. Will Scott Fan 69, what's up? Saying, will Grier finally start taking the O-line seriously? So good transition there. One offensive line question to another. Chris Grier was actually asked about the offensive line at the NFL Combine during his press conference yesterday. Here's what he said. The guys made tremendous strides last year. You've heard Mike McDaniel and Frank Smith talk about how happy they are with the development of some of those young players. Obviously, like with Austin Jackson, he just needs to get healthy so we can get a full evaluation of him. But with Connor Williams, Liam Eichenberg, Rob Hunt, and obviously Teron Armstead, we feel like we have a good core of guys right there to start with. Eichenberg, Chris? What has Eichenberg proven? He was one of the worst rated guards last season in the entire league. I do not think he should be a part of this starting offensive line next year. If you want to bring him off the bench, I mean, it'd be a backup guard, sure, backup tackle, sure. But Liam Eichenberg should not be starting next year. You got to get a good guard. You got to get a good tackle in free agency. And Austin Jackson, like Chris Grier said, we've not seen enough of him. But when he has been on the field, he's somewhat struggled. Now, rate the Dolphins' offensive line right now. For free agency, before the draft, scale it 1 to 10 down in the comment section. Go down and rate the Dolphins' offensive line. Miss Fins, it's good to see you again. Will the QB competition per Grier, will that affect QB 1 or 2? Meaning, will Tua actually get QB, or is this just QB2 position? So, yeah. So, when Chris Grier was talking about the quarterback competition yesterday, he was referencing QB2. 2 is obviously the Dolphins' QB1 going into next year. He's talking about whoever they sign in free agency, and Chris Grier did say they have interest in bringing in a veteran quarterback, which was good to hear, and maybe him competing with Skylar Thompson for the QB2 job. So, yes, he was referencing the QB2 battle there. Liam Taylor, thanks for the question. I saw a report that we are waiting on Tua decision because we're waiting to see if Lamar Jackson becomes available. What do you think about that? Yeah, I think that just broke before the show. There was some report about that. I don't believe it. I'm not buying it. I just think they're going to wait on a Tua decision because they can wait. May 1st is the deadline. Chris Grier, Mike McDaniel, and everybody involved have already committed to Tua to be the starting quarterback next year. And I understand there's been some situations in the past where they're like, yeah, he's our guy, and they go elsewhere. I mean, remember Josh Rosen in Arizona? They were like, yeah, he's our guy, and then they draft Kyler Murray. So I don't think anything like that's going to happen here. I think Tua has proven he's more than capable of being the guy this year and going forward. So I'm not buying that report, Liam. And look, we've heard so many different quarterbacks linked to Miami. I just think all of it's noise. Dixie saying, heard anything about a Derrick Henry trade? Very interesting, Dixie. This is starting to get more talk, and I think a reason for that is because Rand Carthen, the new Titans GM, might be starting to kind of blow it up. I mean, he got rid of Taylor Lewan, Zach Cunningham, a couple other guys that he let go of last week. So if the Titans do want to start a rebuild, then maybe they will trade Derrick Henry, who is a free agent after this upcoming season. However, they did say at the Combine that Ryan Tannehill will be back. So if they bring back Tannehill, I don't see them starting a rebuild. But if the Titans do decide to go that direction, then maybe Derrick Henry will be on the trade block. And I do feel like if there's a shocking NFL trade, kind of like last year's Tyreek Hill trade this year, it's going to be Derrick Henry, wherever he goes. Shallow Hal saying, should we trade for a top corner? Hello, Shal. What did I say? Oh, my bad. Hello, Shal. Sorry about that. Should we trade for a top corner? No. That might be a hot take. I don't think you need to trade for Jalen Ramsey because you have a couple corners available in free agency that you can get without having to give up draft picks. John Jones, I like. Greedy Williams, I like. If they do trade for Jalen Ramsey, I'd be pretty excited about that. But at the same time, though, you'd probably have to give up maybe 2 or 3 draft picks to get that done. I would rather just sign John Jones in free agency. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. We're going to have you covered throughout free agency, and also subscribe if you want to get on a future Dolphins Today mailbag.